Okay. So, once again, good morning, everybody. I've got my little book of magic here, okay, for reference. Magic or torture, it depends what you want to call it. No, it's definitely magic. Okay, so I've just said you might want to grab your cushion or a tea towel or both, or just anything that's going to make it more comfortable for your practice. We are working into the back of the body predominantly, and we're going to remain fairly seated today. So we're going to hold the postures just for a little bit longer than we normally would. And I'll just remind you that little saying that your yoga practice starts the minute you want to come out of that hold, basically. So the minute you feel like you need to come out of it, that's when your yoga really starts. However, listen to your body, do what feels comfortable, and take a modification if necessary. All those props, the cushions, the tea towel, they're there just to help you be more comfortable in the postures. So we are going to start off lying down. So heads to the top of the mat, feet to the bottom of the mat, and just taking a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. So shoulders away from the ears, turning the palms up towards the ceiling, taking the shoulders, making sure that they're not kind of scooched up by the ears, as I said. Softening through the hips and the bum, allowing the feet to relax out. And deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And as you're taking these deep breaths in, really just thinking about how your body's feeling this morning. You got any areas of tension anywhere that you want to work on? Can you feel the tension through the shoulders as you breathe out? And keep taking those breaths in and out for me. And just notice what's going on in your mind, because you may feel that there's a lot going on in there. So try not to lie there working it all out. Just let the thoughts come and let them go. Just taking a deep breath in now, reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring the arms behind you to the floor, softening slightly through the shoulders. And then bringing the feet together and reaching the arms away and reaching the feet away, stretching out. And then gently releasing the arms back down alongside you. And you're going to take a bend through the knees now. Just make sure that the tailbone is tucked underneath. And then the soles of the feet are going to come together in a bound angle pose. So supine bound angles, soles of the feet. Just allow the knees to relax out. Now, if it's too much for you this, just take the feet a little bit further away. You might find it too strong on the hips first thing. Good, and keep taking those steady breaths, keeping the softness through the jawline. You're just going to hold it here for a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, then just squeeze in the inside of the thighs, bringing the knees in toward each other, and then just taking the feet hip distance apart. And then you're just going to sway the knees from side to side, really working in as you bring the knees all the way over. You're just kind of working out the outside of the body. So just making sure here that you get the full benefit of that side twist. Do take your time this morning. The emphasis is working into the posture. It's not whipping our way through it today. Sometimes we go for a more powerful flow. And sometimes we need to just work into the movements. Okay, bringing those knees into the center. You're going to just bring the left knee in towards the chest, extend the right leg away. Keeping the shoulders nice and soft. Softening through the jawline, the neck. And then you're going to bring the right knee in as well. Hold on to the right knee, extend the left leg nice and long. So really keeping the length right the way through that left leg. Pressing down the lower back on the mat beneath you. Toes turning up towards the face, softness through the jawline and the shoulders. Good. And then just gently bringing the knees in towards the chest. You're going to take some circular movements around, just because we're going to be working into the hips as well. Just taking some circular movements. Firstly, to the outside. Really work the knees. Trying to keep full connection of the lower back. Good. And then the opposite way to the way that you did. And so it's as if you're creating small circles with the knees. Good. And then just holding it there. You're going to hold behind the backs of the legs, and you can either just find your way up into seated, or we can give the back a little massage this morning and take a little bit of a rock and roll forward and back until we're up in a seated position. Good. Okay. So from here, I want you to lengthen through the left leg. And then your right foot, sole of the foot, is going to just be on the inside edge of your left inside thigh. Now, what I want you to do is just scoot this left leg just a little bit wider. Yeah, so it's at a slight angle. Good. And then first, you're just going to take a twist around to your left. Breath in. Then you're going to take a twist around to the right. Breath in. And then just bringing it back into center. You might want to bring your cushion in here. So I'll just show you, you know, you might want to just tuck the cushion underneath if it's feeling a bit of a strain on your lower back at any point, okay? So just holding it here, you're going to take a deep breath in now. And exhale, float the hands down towards the floor, keeping those toes turned up on the left foot. And you're just going to ease it as far forward as is comfortable for you. Okay, now you're going to feel this on the left, back of the left leg and on the inside of the thigh. Now, never stray, never push. You're going to be holding it here for a few breaths. Okay, so just work into that pose. So go where you're just at that point that you can feel it. And use your breath. So remember, if you're holding your breath, you need to ease back a little bit. You should always be breathing. So the gaze, of course, breathing is good. What I mean is you should always be breathing through the holds. So just gently easing it forward with the hands. Gaze slightly ahead, or if you feel that you can go a little bit further, then you're looking slightly more towards the hands. So just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. I want you to take a nice long breath in here. And as you exhale, maybe either ease into the posture a little bit more, or you might need to pull back. Okay, so it really depends on how you're feeling. So if you feel it's too strong, you might just need to ease back a little bit. So this is just about adjusting and listening to your body. Now, when you're ready, I want you just to gently press up through the fingers, very, very slowly. Don't snap out of this move. Okay, good. And then you're just going to bring that leg in and then change sides. So the right leg is nice and long, okay? And then you've got that left foot on the inside of that right leg. Toes are turning up towards the face on that right foot, and you're just scooting it a little bit out to that side. Now, remember, cushions, if you've got all the cushions in the world, you can support that knee. You can put it underneath your bum, okay? So first, just take a little twist around to the right-hand side. The left side, sorry. And then round to the other side. And then bringing the body into the center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands come down towards the floor, creeping the fingertips away. Now, this is where you assess how each side is feeling, how they compare. Is this one tighter than the other one? Is it easier to go forward? So always just checking in, listening to what the body is saying. And if it's saying you're pushing too hard, you need to ease out of it, okay? So keep those breaths nice and steady. Right toes turn towards the face. Drawing the belly button in. Steady breaths. Keep the breaths nice and steady. Notice where you're feeling it. It should be down that right back of that right leg and inside thigh. Now from here, you can take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you can look to creep the fingertips a little bit forward, or you might need to pull back, okay? So just listen to what your body's telling you. So if your leg is starting to shake, it's telling you, ease back. And that's also okay. Now, very gently, just bring in the fingertips back in. And you're going to just come into a straight leg posture. So bring the legs back in. And the toes are turning up towards the face. And you're just coming into that Dandasana. Again, cushions can be quite useful now, especially if you start feeling it on the lower back. So the hands are just underneath the shoulders, and you're drawing the chest forward, drawing the belly button, and keeping the spine nice and long, okay? So keep those steady breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Good. Now, what I want you to do is just soften through the knees, and then you're going to find your way into a tabletop position. So you can either rock over or just sweep the feet to the side. Good job. So hands are underneath shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, relaxing through the toes. Okay, so don't grip the toes just yet. I'm going to take a few rounds of cat and cow, releasing off that lower spine. So take a deep breath in, flicking the tailbone up. And as you exhale, you're drawing the belly button in, rounding through the shoulders, sending the gaze towards the shins. I said shins, I meant thighs. So inhale. So really working the full length of that spine. Good. And when you have finished your final round, just coming back up into tabletop. And from here we are going to come into downward facing dog. So now tuck the toes, press down with the fingertips, make sure the fingertips are spread nice and wide. Toes tuck under, hitch the tailbone up and gently ease through the back. So ease the weight back and pedal through the heels. So pedaling, taking your time, shifting the hips from one side to the other, working down the full back length of the legs. So just taking some movements, noticing how it all feels. Good. So taking a deep breath in here, you're going to lift the right leg up and then place the right foot between the hands at the front. Drop that back knee, untuck the toes, sweep the arms up, low lunge position. Good. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, frame that front foot, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Left foot comes between the hands at the front. Drop that back knee, untuck the toes. Low lunge. Good. And then ready, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, place the hands either side of that front foot. Now you're going to step into a forward fold. So just coming forward, weight through the toes and take the weight almost as if you're tipping forward towards the top of the mat. So just holding on to the elbows here, relaxing the head, sending the gaze towards the shins. You can take a little rock forward and back. That's it, good. And then just allow the arms to relax towards the floor. Remember, you can keep some softness here. You don't necessarily have to have them as straight. Sometimes the backs of the legs are really tight, especially first thing in the morning. So just ease into it. You might need to keep the softness there. So taking a deep breath into gazing pose, hands to the shins. Exhale, soften through the knees. You're going to very slowly sweep the hands all the way up, hands through heart center. Good. You're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale and exhale all the way over, forward fold. Inhale to gazing pose, hands to the shins. Soften through the knees, sweep the hands all the way up, hands through heart center. Good job. You're going to do 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, lead with the chest, forward fold. Good. Inhale to gazing pose. Soften through the knees, place the hands either side of the feet. And then you're going to step the right leg back. Okay. And then you're going to come into a high lunge pose. Just keeping the hip flexor coming forward, lunging through that front knee. Good, well done. Take a deep breath in to lengthen. Exhale, frame that left foot. You're going to step the right leg back in, don't step it back. And then you're going to inhale to gazing pose. Exhale, soften through the knees. Hands come either side of the feet. Step the left leg back this time. Inhale. High crescent pose. Good job. Keep that lunge through that front leg. Ooh. Good. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. Frame through that front foot. Now you're stepping the right leg back. Okay. So step that right leg back into downward facing dog. Slowly coming over into Kumbhakasana, plank pose. Drop the knees down if you need to. Slowly lowering through Chaturanga. Inhaling into Cobra or Supported Cobra, depending how your backs are feeling. And then just tucking the toes and coming back into Child's Pose. Resting the head down onto the mat. Taking a little breath, a little beat. Checking in with how you're feeling. Very slowly now coming back up into a tabletop position, you're going to find your way into a seated position. Good. Okay, and first you are going to, extend the legs. So you're coming into Dandasana. So where you were just before we came up into standing. So toes are turning up towards the face. Remember, cushions under the bum if you need to, under the tailbone, sit bone, just to tilt the pelvis, make it more comfortable. Toes turning up towards the face, hands under, just underneath the shoulders, chest forward. Take one long breath in here and exhale. Next breath now, inhale, bring the hands up. And as you exhale, bringing the hands all the way forward as far as is comfortable for you. Now, this is where your tea towels might come in useful, or your straps, or whatever you've got to hand, scarves. Okay, so it might be that here is well enough for you. Okay, you might just be happy keeping the hands to the floor, taking a, just easing into whatever's comfortable for you. So you really want to think about drawing that belly button in. Okay, so just to help you come a little bit further forward. You can always hold on to the toes, but try and keep the elbows a little bit out and the gaze is forward to the feet. So try to resist the temptation to come down further by bringing the nose to the knees. It's chest forward, gaze towards the toes. And this is when, perhaps like me this morning, you're like, my goodness, how tight am I down the back of my legs? I need to do this more often. And other days you'll just go right down. It'll feel a lot easier. A couple of you in there have got very long hamstrings, and I'm very envious of them. Now, when you're ready, just gently easing back, slowly up. And then you're going to take a bend through the knees and then just slowly come down towards the mat. Now, tailbone tucks underneath. We're going to come into a side twist. So you're going to bring the, let's start right knee in towards the chest. Left leg comes nice and long. Now you can keep the left leg bent, okay, if it's easier on the back, but right knee comes in. Now just gently dropping the right hand down to the floor alongside you, and the left hand is just gently guiding this left knee over towards the right knee over towards the left side. Send the gaze over the right shoulder. And take some steady breaths in. Now you don't have to hold this knee, you can gently rest it on top of the other leg, but as long as you feel this nice twist down the side. Remember, you need to be able to breathe in the twists. And when you're ready, then just gently bring the knees in through the center. Hugging that left knee in towards the chest, extend the right leg away from you. And then when you're ready, just gently dropping the knee over to the to the right hand side, and send the gaze over the left shoulder. And when you're ready, then just gently bring the knee back in. You're going to hug both knees in towards the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. And then you're going to catch hold of either the backs of the legs, the ankles, or the outside of the feet, and come into happy baby. So watching Happy Baby that the bum doesn't start lifting off the floor. You want to imagine that the lower back and the bum is super glued to the mat beneath you. And then just drawing those knees in towards the armpits, if you like. Now, everybody's going to be different in this posture. You can hold on to the leggings, the ankles. You can, grab onto your strap and pull it. So just make it work for you. And then just gently bringing those knees in. Little rock from side to side again. And then bringing the soles of the feet down towards the mat. And just gently, firstly coming onto the elbows. So they're under the shoulders. And then bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing down with the feet. Now the first option is to just draw the chest forward so you're opening up, or coming into reverse tabletop. So pressing down with the feet, squeezing up and through the bum and lifting up. So pressing down with the hands, opening up the hip flexors, keeping the chin slightly tucked in, don't drop the head back. Squeeze the bum, press down with the big toes. Good job. And when you're ready, just slowly now coming back down and releasing yourself back down to the floor, knees in towards the chest. When you're ready, bringing the feet down and just gently sliding the legs away, finding your way into that Shavasana. In fact, just before we do that, let's take the soles of the feet together back into that supine bound angle pose. And let's just check in with how our hips are feeling. Maybe comparing it to how they felt at the beginning of the session. When you're ready, just gently squeezing the inside of the thighs, bringing the knees in together. Tucking the tailbone underneath, bringing the knees in. And I want you just to slowly start finding your way into a seated position, just for a moment, taking your time. First off, taking a deep breath in, reaching the arms all the way up. Before we take them in through Namaste, bring them to the floor in front of you and just gently relax the head down, tuck the chin in. Creeping those hands back in again. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands through heart center. And Namaste.